church in transition from one pastor who's still living to the next. There are some creative organizational shifts that we have to do internally. There's an existing model that's already present that we have to upgrade, and in some ways we've got to dismantle, and that is where the tensions began to flare. And so there's some things that we have to construct. There's some things we have to reconstruct, but then there's some stuff that we just got to deconstruct. I mean, we just got to totally tear it down.
Yeah.
And so these are all of this have to be done simultaneously. And it requires skill, passion, dedication. And so that's the team that I'm trying to build. A team of skillful, passionate, dedicated people. Because you can get a lot done with those three elements. And so that's what we are focusing on for 2024. We are hoping to really take off, in a sense, in the direction for building families, reaching communities, and transforming lives.
Y'all, welcome back to another episode of It Is What It Is podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Cody Winter Marshall Kelly himself. You know, because it is that's podcast. Like, subscribe, just in case you didn't hear it the first time on YouTube at CVMK. Instagram, It Is What It Is _show, CVMK _global, CVMK33. Look, we have an amazing episode. And the reason why it's amazing, because not just one of my friends have been elevated in the ministry, but also because elevation in the ministry is enormous, and I'm sure it comes with a lot of headache. This young giant in the gospel has just been elevated to senior pastor, to leading a church, a congregation, and I'm sure there's a whole lot that goes with that. So I want to talk about, how do you pastor in this climate? So y'all, welcome to CVMK family, none other than Ladarius Beal. Pastor Beal. Pastor Beal now. How you doing today, sir?
Man, I'm excited to be here with my brother. Glad to be here, man. Thanks for this invitation.
No problem.
Yeah.
Look, I'm excited about, having you on, man. When you first made the announcement, I was like, yes, one of us finally gonna get a chance before we get to 50, right? That's exactly what I'm saying internally. And then I can think of nobody else who's really dedicated themselves unto God and unto this church. And I was just happy for you, like really not just saying it, but really happy for you. And then my mind started thinking, I was like, dang. That's a lot. I was just like, it's one of those like, oh man, like as cool as it is, it's a lot. So I want to go there. There are a lot of people who call themselves pastors. Not here to debate anybody's calling. But it's hard to differentiate and distinguish between what is true and what isn't. Right? There's a lot of people with the title. So for you, man, what does this mean to be now the senior pastor of a congregation?
Man, that's an interesting question. It's a good question. I mean, for me, it just means that I have arrived to the place that I was called to before I even knew anything about myself. It is amazing to watch how the course of life plays itself out. And as I review my life and my steps, I can see how God was strategically directing me to this moment. And then you get here and it's still like, wow. I was down at the church for several hours today and it was still settling in that, wow, this is my reality. And so for me, it just means a mixture of emotions. Humble, proud, godly proud of myself, nervous, anxious, excited. All of this, just a blend of all these emotions. But ultimately, it's the fulfilling of prophecy, of calling, of something God chose for me before I even knew myself.
I like that. It's something God chose for you before you even knew yourself. So, you got to this point, and with every level, there is a responsibility and an added weight. And sometimes it's the fear of failing, because I remember, I don't know if I have anything that equate to being a pastor, but let's say just take marriage, right? Got married, excited, thrilled for a lot of different reasons. but there's also this fear. Can you really do this? And I don't care what anybody says. Anybody says, I don't ever have fear. I don't ever feel anything. Yeah, there can be some days and some moments, that you be like, this is a lot, right? Were there any hesitancies? Did you ever pause and say, wait a minute. Let me slow down here.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, anything big in life is going to come with those feelings of, like I said, anxiousness, anxiety. So yeah, I've had my moments of pausing to wonder, do I really want to do this? I've had my moments of looking and thinking that, man, is this something this is I'm giving up my rights, my freedoms. I'm making myself accountable, and I'm placing myself in a situation that's, it's like a sheep being led to slaughter. So I've had, for absolute certainty. And that's why it's important to have a prayer life, be guided by the Spirit, because when you are having those moments of deep contemplation, contemplating whether or not you should move forward, it's those moments where the Spirit ought to pick you up and say, you can do this because I got your back. So yeah, it's like with Jesus being in that garden. If it be thy will, let this cup pass.
I know that's right.
So yeah.
What about, we live in an interesting age, Bill, Pastor Bill. We have pastoralship means so many different things to so many different people. We have Instagram pastors. We have pastors that are TikTok prophets. We have a different view on how to do it, when to do it, why to do it. I follow a lot, and there was a pastor on the day, and I follow him. I like him. He was on the Breakfast Club, right? And it's like, pastoring in this generation is complex. You're not just preaching. If it was just preaching, that'd be simple, right? If it was just Sunday morning, as simple can get, but that would be the least of our concern. It's the booby traps, when to say no, when to promote yourself, when not to promote yourself. I think in even your case, because you're dealing with a challenge that is becoming more normal.
Right.
Getting more and more single pastors. I really believe I'm going to live to see a single president. Because it is what it is. So, for you, right? How do you navigate this complexity?
Man, well, you know what? When you think about it on the single as far as being a single pastor.
Yeah.
The way I'm looking at it is I have time. I have time to throw myself fully into this thing. I don't have a family to run home to. I don't have a wife calling. I don't have to worry about meeting anyone else's needs. I can give myself completely over to my vision, my dreams, my goals, my objectives. Everything about me now revolves around my assignment. And I have no distractions, no interferences. Not saying I don't look forward to the day where I have a wife.
Sure.
But right now, I'm able to give myself fully to the work. And I actually appreciate that. And so it's going to require a level of discipline. I've got to make sure I keep myself in spaces that help keep me structured.
Right.
I have to have some routine. And I've got to find some other outlets because, I mean, let's be honest, there's nothing like coming home to a black woman. I mean, it's nothing like coming home to a sweet presence. And so since I don't have that, I've got to figure out some other outlets. And so something else is going to occupy my time when I do step away from the church work.
Right.
And that doesn't mean I'm not good. Doesn't mean I don't got my eyes open.
Right.
Find that.
Well, the Bible says he who findeth the wife. Are you finding? Are you looking?
I'm looking.
You looking.
I'm looking. Yes,
all right. What does looking look like for a pastor? Because I mean, like if I'm gonna say this, take it. You don't have to answer it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Looking when you're at this level has a lot more leadway, right?
Right.
Looking at your level, I mean, like if you were out. Let's just say with Keke Palmer. Let's say you went on a date with Keke Palmer, right? And you were at, I don't know, Carnival, right? In Chicago. And somebody saw you. They was like, man, it's Pastor Beal. They're not like your title is going to come up quicker than your name, right? You could be innocent. You could be just harmless eating steak. You're just eating food. But your title is going to take precedent over who you are. What does looking look like?
Well, you know, my dating life is private.
Okay.
And that's a boundary. I even told my church that y'all not involved in my dating life. That's private. Okay.
All right.
Now I do know that I have to be sensitive to the fact that whoever I marry is coming into an already established situation. And I hope that she and I can work out, you know, some things within our relationship that keeps us focused.
Sure.
Keeps us on point. But ultimately, I'm looking for somebody for me, not for the church, first of all, she's got to be for me and then for the church. And so looking, you know, it looks like when I go to church services, when I'm at conventions, when I'm even, you know, scrolling through social media, when I'm walking around the mall, I'm checking some things out, seeing if there's an attraction, approach a lady, seeing if there is a vibe, you know, an interest, a spark. So yeah, you know, looking looks like practical. It's on the practical side, you know, and I'm looking for someone who I like and who can appreciate me and respect me and love me, and we, you know, we do this thing together.
I like it. Look, well, I have some questions. We're going to get into building the ministry, you know, what it really takes to build in today's climate, right? Is it, you know, part brand? How do we compartmentalize what ministry means going forward? Just a quick word from our sponsor.
There's a hero in all of us waiting to be unleashed. All it takes is just that one last push. Activate the hero within with CVMK Global Supplements. All natural, steroid free, designed to enhance performance, build muscle, and increase energy. You are unstoppable. You can do this. Become your own hero at www.cvmkglobal.store.
www.cvmkglobal.store, where it goes down. We just dropped the whey protein. You need a protein, you don't know which way to go? You need the way, right? Because it is literally the way. THEE-WHEY, the way. Get it today, www.cbnkglobal.store. Okay, so building a ministry is a art, a science, and a divine push. I've seen a lot of things. I've seen some very interesting things. And I think without a enormous massive capital, because it's like building a business, right? There's the marketing aspect of it. You know, there's the strategy aspect, there's the demographic analysis. And ultimately, because it is a ministry, it's the God factor, right? Like God has to be in it. You mentioned today, some operational duties you had to take care of. But what, or should I say, what will be that 2024 vision for you and your congregation going forward?
Well, we definitely want to be a community. We want to focus on the community. We want to focus on building families, building the community, being a resource agency. And so that's the direction we're moving in. But of course, since we are a church in transition, from one pastor who's still living to the next, there are some creative organizational shifts that we have to do internally. There's an existing model that's already present that we have to upgrade, and in some ways we've got to dismantle, and that is where the tensions began to flare. And so there's some things that we have to construct. There's some things we have to reconstruct, but then there's some stuff that we just got to deconstruct. I mean, we just got to totally tear it down.
Yeah.
And so these are all of this have to be done simultaneously. And it requires skill, passion, dedication. And so that's the team that I'm trying to build. A team of skillful, passionate, dedicated people. Because you can get a lot done. You can get a lot done with those three elements. And so that's what we are focusing on for 2024. We are hoping to really take off, in a sense, in the direction for building families, reaching communities, and transforming lives.
I like that. Building families, transforming communities, and building lives. I like that. And you talked about the things to deconstruct. I think in your uniqueness, and tell me if I'm hitting it on the head, because you are a successor, and the former regent has left a blueprint. That culture that is there is hard to evolve, right? I mean, like if they want to hear, I need thee, they want to hear I need thee, and you might want to hear Hillsong. You might want to hear, Waymaker, Miracle Worker, Promise Keeper, Light in the Darkness. My God, that is who you are, right? But they're not used to that. They're not used to that type of style. And as funny as that sounds, you'd be surprised how serious that is, especially with an older congregation or a more settled, I would say, congregation. Do you feel that you have the right? Do you feel like? And let me phrase this. Let me not get you in trouble. I don't want to get you in trouble. I'm gonna be respectful of your position. Is one of your prayers, God, send the pieces so that your vision for this can come to pass?
Well, yeah, I'm definitely praying that God send the pieces, and I pray that He exposed me to them, that He shines a light, that He tells me where to go find them. The things that I need. I pray that they fall in place, that I'm able to find, that I'm able to have them. And so I'm invested in the work. I'm fully invested in the work. I'm totally dedicated to seeing the growth and expansion of the church. And so the interesting thing about me is I stand in both generations. I am a millennial, but I'm still tied to the old time ways. So, I can get up and wreck the house with "Have you tried Jesus?"
Right.
That's even where I feel most at home. And then I'm also willing to allow an emerging generation to, pursue the new things that we have. So there are new challenges, there are new problems, there are new issues that we have to face, and there are other resources in the world available now to meet those new issues. And so it's a matter of being able to have one foot in both door, both houses. I guess.
I like that. All right, I'm gonna leave you with this because I know you and me have been up all day, and I want to thank you again for being on the show. So I'm gonna end with this question.
Mm-hmm.
No longer, thank God, I can't say that. That's not true for our denomination. But I will say this: it is becoming more normal that pastors are not dying in office. Matter of fact, in some denominations, pastors don't even stay at one locale their whole tenure of pastoralship. Could you, obviously you don't know. We don't know the future, right? But are you trying to create something so that your successor can spend less time rebuilding and more time advancing than you necessarily when you came in?
Yeah. I hope to create a structure that after 25 years, I'm done. Okay. I'm done with pastoring. I'm going on to do other things, write books, host crusades, do conferences. I'm done. Okay. That's my mindset. And I don't believe I have to die or be old and have senile and something before I let it go. I'm going to be done with full-time pastoring, and I'm moving on to do some other things, some apostolic work and travel. And hopefully by then I'm married, and me and my wife, there's more to do. And I believe I can get a lot done in 25 years if I take the job seriously. So I hope to be done in 25 years. That's where I am with that. I hope to have built a structure to where who's ever coming after me, they can come and really only have to maintain and sustain. And probably will have to do some of what I'm having to do. Reorganize, restructure, retool, rebrand, renovate. But hey, whatever's going on 25 years from now in the world, I pray that I have led in the way, that my people are ready to make the adjustment, receive the new guy, and keep moving.
That'll work. Well, look, Bill, you have been amazing. Thank you again for being on the show. No problem. I'm wishing you all the best. I'm so glad I'm so glad that our church is trying to change because I'll just leave on that one. Pastor Bill, over this new church, where can the people see you preach, join the church, follow you? Where can they connect with you?
Yes, you can follow me on Facebook, L. Jerome Beal, Twitter at Ladarius Beal, Instagram at Ladarius Beal, and we are at the Temple every Sunday at 12 noon, 9229 South Drexel Avenue in Chicago. We are at the Temple and we are recruiting. Come on out and hear a word.
If you think exercise alone got me looking like this, well, think again. CVMK Global Super Thick got me right. I'm obsessed, and yeah, I won't stop talking about it because it helped me grow in all the right places. Its creatine provides a fast and reliable way to increase your power, size, and shape, and it's scientifically proven to help you reach your physical goals in a safe, controlled manner. So if you want to increase muscle size, pump, and thickness in your muscle groups, you need Super Thick.
From the Lord.
Y'all follow him on all the social media platforms, and take a Sunday. Just take one Sunday. Go to 9229 South Drexel Avenue. Stop by 12 noon so you can sleep in. Go hear him, support the church, support the vision, and most importantly, serve and praise the Lord. And if you want to keep seeing amazing leaders like we have on today, you know what you got to do. Subscribe, YouTube, CVMK, Instagram, it is what it is, _show, CVMK _global. I just had Mark McGuire on the podcast. Y'all don't even know. Y'all don't even know CVK_Global. We are finally above 50,000 followers. And CVK33. I almost forgot my own handle. And until next time, guys.